feel like you're carrying the weight of the world, don't you? Like no one else could possibly understand what you're going through. It's just you against everything. That's how it feels when life hits hard. Like you're on an island, completely alone. But here's the truth, no one tells you. You're not alone. And I know that doesn't make the weight disappear, but it should remind you of one thing. You're stronger than you think. And I don't mean some cliche kind of strong. I mean the kind of strong that gets forged in fire. The kind of strong that survives. That's you, whether you see it or not. So, let's take a minute and talk about why the battle you're in isn't the end. It's the beginning. You know what's funny? When you're in the thick of it, when everything feels like it's falling apart, it's easy to convince yourself that no one else has ever felt this way, that somehow your struggles are different, harder, lonelier. But let me tell you something. Every scar you carry, every weight you're trying to lift, someone else has carried it too, and they made it through. Not because it was easy, but because they decided that giving up wasn't an option. That's the difference. It's not about how tough the battle is. It's about how much fight you're willing to give. Right now, you're still standing. That counts for something. It means you haven't let life break you, no matter how hard it's tried. And trust me, that's worth more than you realize. It's proof you're still in this fight. Proof you're capable of more than you think. So, let's start with this. Give yourself some credit. You're doing better than you think. But here's the thing. Survival isn't the goal. Just existing. Just getting through the day. That's not living. You weren't built to just scrape by. You were built to fight, to grow, to turn every setback into a setup for something greater. I know that probably sounds impossible right now. Like, how are you supposed to turn this mess into something meaningful? But think about this. Every great story, every inspiring person you've ever looked up to, started in the trenches. They didn't rise to the top because life handed them a free pass. They rose because they refused to stay down. And you're no different. The fact that you're here, still listening, still breathing, still willing to consider that maybe, just maybe, there's more for you. That's the start. That's your proof. The next step is yours to take. Let's be real for a second. This isn't going to fix itself. Life doesn't magically get better because you wish it would. Change doesn't show up just because you're tired of the way things are. You have to make the move. You have to decide that staying where you are isn't an option anymore. And that decision, it's not about waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment doesn't exist. It's about doing something, anything, that pushes you forward, even if it's just a small step. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start. Because here's the truth. No one's coming to save you. Not because people don't care, but because they're busy fighting their own battles. And that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. The strength you're looking for, it's already inside you. And the sooner you tap into it, the sooner you'll realize just how powerful you really are. You've probably heard this before, but let me remind you, diamonds are only formed under pressure. That same principle applies to you. Every hard day, every disappointment, every moment you thought you couldn't keep going, that's your pressure. It's shaping you. Whether you realize it or not, you have to let it. You have to lean into the struggle instead of running from it. Because growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens when you're stretched, pushed, and challenged in ways you never thought you could handle. And yeah, it's uncomfortable, it's painful, but it's also necessary, because the stronger, sharper version of you, the one who can handle anything life throws your way, that version of you only exists on the other side of this struggle. The question is, are you willing to go through it to meet him? Here's what most people don't realize. The struggles you face aren't here to break you. They're here to build you. Every obstacle, every setback, Every failure, it's all fuel, but only if you choose to use it. Most people waste their pain. They complain about it, run from it, or let it define them. Don't be like most people. Take that pain, that frustration, and turn it into power. Let it drive you. Let it push you to work harder, think smarter, and fight longer. Because when you do that, when you turn your struggles into fuel, they stop being your weakness and start becoming your weapon. You're not the only one who's been knocked down. The difference is, you're going to get back up. And when you do, you won't just be stronger, you'll be unstoppable. That's the version of you that's waiting to be unleashed. So, what's stopping you? Look, life isn't fair. It's not supposed to be. If you're waiting for the perfect circumstances, the right timing, or someone to tell you it's okay to start, you'll be waiting forever. The truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to fight for it. And it's not going to happen overnight. This isn't about quick fixes or shortcuts. It's about showing up every single day, even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when no one else is watching. That's what separates people who survive from people who thrive. You've made it this far, and that's no small thing. But now, it's time to stop just surviving. It's time to build, to rise, to prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. The only person who can do this is you. And the best part? You're ready. You just have to believe it. So, here's the bottom line. You're not alone, and you never have been. The struggles, the pain, the setbacks, they're all part of the process, part of what makes you stronger. But strength isn't just about enduring. It's about deciding to rise, no matter how many times you fall. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need anyone's permission. All you need is to take the first step and keep moving forward, one day at a time. Because the truth is, every battle you're fighting now is shaping the person you're becoming. And that person, they're capable of incredible things. So stop doubting yourself. Stop holding back. It's your time to step up, take control, and show the world and yourself what you're made of. The question isn't whether you can, it's whether you will.